Hey, welcome to another video. Thanks for joining me in this one. Now, in this video, I want to share something that is so much of a good news. And to be honest, I'm also impacted by this, and I will share that information with you guys. If you guys have been following the news lately when it comes to the aviation world, I'm sure you should have seen somewhere that the cargo industry, when it comes to freight airlines or cargo airlines, these airlines are struggling. And so recently, there was a shutdown of the Western Global Cargo Airline, and they declared bankruptcy. And you would wonder why that is going on. And the other question to that is, why am I even talking about this in the first place? Well, there are a few reasons, but let's talk about the first one. We understand that there's been a pilot shortage in the industry, and that has led to this boom in hiring, considering we went through the global pandemic problem that led to a lot of airlines shutting down, laying off pilots, and now we're in this boom where a lot of airlines are back in business, making money, but they do not have a lot of people to fly for them. With that comes with the demand for pilots. On the other hand, during the pandemic, the cargo industry saw a huge boom in freight movement or cargo movement, and that led to them hiring pilots. So you can see how they were inverse in terms of the operations. For passenger airlines, they saw a drastic drop in demand, but for cargo world or cargo airlines, they saw a peak in demand for their services, which led to them hiring more people than the norm. Now, why am I impacted by this? So I would share some background with you that I think I've mentioned this in a previous video, which probably I haven't released yet, but at this point, maybe I'll release it by the time this video is out. But anyway, I was with United Airlines. During the pandemic, with the instability and all that going on, I switched to cargo, which I'm now with FedEx. And the reason why I did that was because, yes, I don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with United. Great airline. I loved it. I was there for a short time, but I'm with FedEx because, well, FedEx is also a good place to be. So anyway, I went there. But now the industry has shifted because the demand for passengers are back, or demand from the passenger world is back, but the demand for cargo has slowed down. So of course, I can see firsthand how this is impacting the business, how it's affecting the finances. Now, FedEx is, one of I think is the top cargo industry out there. At least that's what I would say. But the point here is, I can see what is going on, and my hope is that things would cool off and things will stabilize soon. So during the pandemic, we know that passengers stopped flying. We know that cargo demand for movement of cargo increased. But according to IATA, that the global economy continues to decelerate due to a combination of factors such as tightening global financial conditions, high levels of global debt, and supply chain problems, including those linked to the war in Ukraine. If I will summarize that to you, right now, we know that inflation is high. The costs for goods and services has kind of gone up globally. And this has affected global operations of demand for cargoes. And that's why, and in addition to that, we have high levels of debt, which means people are not trying to spend. The other thing to that is the war in Ukraine. Believe it or not, Russia and Ukraine, with this whole war going on, their impact is being felt. The impact of their businesses, the impact to their demand of goods and services is being felt worldwide, even though this other part of the world is not directly in the forefront of the fight or the war. But the point here is there's an impact to all these industries. And that's one of the reasons why it has led to a shutdown of this cargo airline that I mentioned, Western Global. Now, how is this affecting other industries? Well, recently, UPS just made a voluntary retirement offer to their pilots, and they're hoping that about 167 pilots would take this offer of early retirement. And that is because they are overstaffed. Even FedEx is overstaffed. A lot of these cargo airlines that hired a lot of people during the pandemic or during the period of the pandemic going on are overstaffed. And to be honest with you, who could have believed that the pandemic would be so over so quickly? Because the whole world was shutting down, things were collapsing. We thought the whole world would come to an end. But believe it or not, see how things has changed and how the tides have turned. The point here is this. We need to be, I guess, careful because, one industry today can turn around to be the opposite tomorrow. And nothing is wrong, but you just have to realize that there's always cycles in this industry. And this is something that we've seen in various cycles in the past. The pandemic, the financial crisis, the mortgage crisis that happened in the past, the '08, the tech bubble, all this stuff. All these things that affect the economy would impact the aviation industry. And because the aviation industry is in the forefront of the services needed by the economy or the people in the economy, well, it will be impacted with a downturn or a slowdown. And that's where we are also in right now. Now, cargo is being impacted, but in the short and in history, the pattern has always been that when the passenger world is booming, cargo slows down. When the passenger world slows down, the passenger airline slows down in hiring or maybe bank follows and stuff like that, the cargo world also picks up. Is that trend changing? We don't know yet. But I thought I should share this with you guys, especially as you consider becoming a professional pilot, as you consider choosing an airline to work for, as you consider starting this career. Understand that there will always be risk for things like this to occur, and you can't always predict the future. We don't know. We don't know what the future holds. All we can do is to do our best and be well prepared and be informed, which is why I'm informing you through this video. So if you haven't dropped a like, please consider doing that. I would love to see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe by doing that so that you can also see my next video. I would love to see you there. Stay in touch. If you have questions, contact me via Instagram. And if you have questions also, you can leave in the comment section below. I'll try to respond to them. I would love to see you